Now let's head straight into introducing our special guest that will be analyzing headlines with us. Barrister Chidi Ujoatumba is here. Barrister Ujoatumba is a human rights lawyer, CEO Ujoatumba and Company. Good morning. How do you do?
Good morning, Natalie, for having me once again.
Good morning. I don't know why Natalie's hyper.
Eh?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, Natalie is she's on the high element this morning.
Did you just say I'm high?
Yeah, I know. On high element.
You're high.
On high element this morning.
Okay.
I know. Maybe probably she had a very big cup of coffee.
Oh yes, I did. and yours will be coming.
Yes.
And Tochiko will be providing that as the show progresses. He will send in somebody with that.
Tochiko has a lot to do this morning.
Yes, and if it's not available, then we'll blame Ikenga. And Mr. Meka knows who that is. So that's our MD CEO, in case you're wondering who I'm talking about with Ikenga's best friend. All right, let's head straight into the headlines this morning, beginning with The Guardian. Autonomy. Varsities fume as federal government fixes 150 cutoff mark, 16 years admission age. 40% of Nigerian children malnourished, Shetima laments. Federal government issues 3.5 million passports, saves 1 billion naira from reforms, says minister. LP factions differ on threats to expel Obi. ADC rules out preferential treatment, bars presidential aspirants from public declarations. NAFDAC uncovers expired chemicals, additives worth 1 billion naira. Arrests 3 in Lagos. Oshun Huriwa stages protest, demands suspension of council funds. U.S. halts multiple entry visa for Nigerians, reduces validity to 3 months. Reps seek to increase seats to 552, allocates 10% to women. Nigerian News Direct, 2025-2026, mixed reactions greet 150 cutoff mark as federal government pegs admission age at 16. Nigerians now restricted to single entry 3-month visa by new U.S. policy. Thousands benefits as NNPC shall hold 4th edition of Vision First initiative. On Platform Times, anger, outrage as VCs peg varsity cutoff at 150, polytechnics at 100. Jamb flags top scorer as suspected mercenary. 11 Jamb staff arrested in Ogun. 3,300 candidates under investigation. EFCC probes suspect over undeclared $420,900 CFA at Kano Airport. ADC yet to endorse 2027 presidential candidate. This according to David Mark. Federal government issues over 3.5 million passports, saves 1 billion naira from digital reforms. The minister speaking. Atiku denies report of stepping down for Southern candidates, blames APC for fake story. INEC Oshun Commissioner warns staff against indiscipline ahead of CVR 2026 poll. I'm moving on straight to Salient Times. 97 lawyers line up to defend ADC, Mark Arebesola against APC's fake lawsuits. 2025 UTME, there's foul play in results of highest scorer. According to Jamb, sets 150 as cutoff mark for universities, pegs admission age for tertiary institutions at 16. Labour Party fractured. I don't see it winning an election. This is according to Kingibe. If we have arrested 100 criminals, 99.99% of them are Igbos. This according to the Anambra State Governor, Chukwumachao Soludo. Ghanaians protest installation of Igbo leader as king in Accra. And on this day, Damagum to disloyal PDP members, leave our party now. ADC, Tinubu's failure behind us, snub APC, ADC is mortally wounded. Bloomberg, Naira breaks away from oil as confidence in federal government's reforms grows. Appreciates to 1,540 Naira per dollar on parallel market. And lastly here, U.S. slashes non-immigrant visas to 3-month single entry for Nigeria. Others.
Okay, starting from New Telegraph. FG pegs tertiary institutions minimum admission age at 16 as Jamb sets varsity cut-off mark at 150, Polytechnic 100, and suspect foul play in 2025 UTME highest scores results. Government declares admission outside CAPS illegal. OPS urges Tinubu to visit Trump over frosty Nigeria-US relationship. IMF effective tax systems spending will reduce Nigeria's debts. FG issues over 3.5 million passports, saves 1 billion naira from reforms. Plan to expel Obi laughable. Desperate kick of dying horse, says LP. Autumn to Alia accounts for states' LG funds, says grassroots decaying over non-implementation of LG autonomy. 2027, we have no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark regarding ADC. Tinubu not distracted by coalition, FG says. Reps to reserve 10% seats for women, 5% for PLWDs in NAS. Floats panel to address 5% user charge collection on PMS. You can catch that on page 418 of New Telegraph. Cybersecurity laws. China backs Nigeria on enforcement, proposes joint operations targeting online gambling, internet fraud. Most U.S. visas for Nigerians now single entry, 3-month validity. ASU declares no pay, no work over delayed June salary. In Abuja, just kick off action. Moving over to Daily Independent, doubling Nigeria's milk production in 5 years unrealistic, says expert. U.S. reduces non-immigrant visa for Nigerians to single entry 3-month validity. Senate begins probe of NMDPRACO as lawyers protest enters day 2. Jamb announces 150 cut-off mark for varsities admissions, why we adopted ADC instead of forming new party by Babachia Lawal. Senate pledges not to joke with currency bills from reps to pass more tighter disciplinary rules after Natasha incident. Ignore noise makers. We are not planning to expel Obi, says LP. 2027 election, ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark. APC mocks ADC over allegation of intimidation against coalition. Lastly, right here on Daily Independence, 90% of bandits terrorizing Castana live with us, says Governor Rada. Moving over to the Punch. 2027 presidency, Mark cautions Atiku Obi as FG slams coalition chiefs. Presidency, Mark clash over Tinubu's reforms. APC, PDP chieftains join ADC in Borno, Gombe, Ondo, Jigawa. Natasha postpones Senate's return as NAS awaits apology. Presidency blast Obi as Ohaneze demands Kanu's release. 2025 admissions. Jamb sets 150 benchmark bars under 16. Customs, EFCC step up airport surveillance against money laundering. Free school children, Okada rider crushed to death in Oyo. Lastly, right here on the Punch. Adeola will run for Ogun governor in 2027, aid confirms. Moving over to Daily Trust. Questions over Tinubu's 2027 campaign posters. FG pegs admission age into tertiary institutions at 16. Nigerians to get 3-month single entry U.S. visa under new policy. We have no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark. FCT primary school teachers suspend 3-month strike. 90% of bandits in Castana are indigents, says Governor Rada. Students accused of setting boyfriend ablaze. Lastly, on Daily Trust. FG hints at electricity tariff hike. Lastly, Nigerian Tribune. 2027 ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark. Party assemblies 97 Party assembles 97 lawyers to challenge fake suits against interim leadership. 2 Ondo ex-governorship candidates, Jegede Ajayi, others join coalition. U.S. issues new visa policy for Nigerians. Non-immigrants and diplomatic visas, now single entry 3-month validity. Olubadan CCII president says Ladoja hail. Fit as 21-day mourning period for Olakunlehim begins. Dangote refinery reduces fuel price again. Ex-depot price now 820 naira per litre. We have issued over 3.5 million passports, saved 1 billion naira from reforms, Interior Minister says. Recovered fund from corruption cases channeled into NEL Fund Consumer Credit Scheme order, says EFCC. Jamb sets 150 as cutoff mark for universities. FGPEG University admission age at 16 declares admission outside caps illegal. CBN ends loan waivers, orders banks to submit capital plans July 14. The FCC quizzes suspects as custom intercepts uncleared foreign currencies worth 653.9 million naira at Kanu Airport.
All right, thank you, Audrey. So many headlines. Let's begin with matters concerning education, because that seems to be a major concern in Nigeria right now. Beginning with in all the papers, it's a major lead. Beginning on New Telegraph, federal government pegs tertiary institutions minimum age at 16. Let's begin from that bold headline, the prominent one. How do you feel about this? Even as this is happening, Jamb is setting the varsity cutoff mark at 150 and polytechnics at 100. What do you make of what's going on in Nigeria's tertiary education sector?
I wasn't really happy when I saw that news early this morning, because the one of 16 years is okay. I don't think there's any problem with that, because when you factor in failure, when you factor in strike, when you factor in ill health, and when you factor in some other things that can make someone to drop out of school or to miss school, the earlier you start it, the better. I don't have any problem with that. And again, when you also factor in the rate at which children are learning and growing and advancing these days, you can bear me witness that opportunity should be given to anyone to enter into school at any early stage you can, and to come as long as you are. You can keep abreast of the curriculum, and then you can understand what the college is teaching. Coming to the dropping of the lowering the cutoff mark, I don't know why they are doing that. I can't really fathom why they should decide to reduce the cutoff mark. It's really reducing the standard of education in Nigeria. It should be raised. The cutoff mark should be raised. The higher you raise it, the higher the higher you create an opportunity for the pupil to go back and study very well, so that they can get. You can make a poor Jamb score and then go into the university and expect to come out with the flying colors. This academic excellence, it starts from the beginning. So we should be giving them that opportunity to study hard. So then it used to be 2-something, 250, 240. You could remember how they were reducing this from 260. They were reducing this, and now other tertiary institutions 100. Since they are writing 4 courses, now what it means that all you need to do is to score 25. It's 25. If they say it's 100, 25 is what makes you pass of 100%. Score is very low. It's not a sign to show that Jamb are propelling excellence. You understand? So I think they should revisit that cutoff mark and give us more reason why they should allow such reduction to be the trend these days. It's very, very low.
In the next 10 years or thereabouts, what could be the demerits of this decision Jamb just took this period?
Before this, you're talking about in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Before this, right now, we have been complaining that the quality of students that are coming out of tertiary institutions, they have drastically dropped. If you have the opportunity to be part of any interview, or probably you're recruiting for people, you interview them and you try to overlook their CV, and you want to engage them in a face-to-face conversation. You want them to tell you what they know, what they've been through, experience they have acquired in life even before they want to get that job. You won't be satisfied. Out of every 10 students, you definitely list, out of every 10 graduates, you see either 2 or 3 who are sound, who are articulate, who are intelligent, who can defend what they have studied. It's not just all about the grade you made in school. I'm more bothered about that. Even if you're coming out with third class,
all right,
will you be able to look at the interviewer and speak good English and defend yourself?
I mean, that's the big question. But first, we have to go on a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. The Morning Q returns in just seconds. Stay with us. So on the AFIA Morning Show, we're still looking at headlines right now, and Oji, we're already on something, so let me let you follow that trail. Go ahead.
Okay, you're talking about the disadvantage of you know implementing this cutoff mark at 150, which is lowering.
It's lowering.
Yeah.
Why are they lowering it? It shouldn't be lowered. It should be standard. It should be made static. Okay. And if there's anything that will ever make it to be lowered, it should be explained to the masses. Because the issue here is that this Jamb preparation is not something that we should take lightly. Okay. Education is very costly these days, and the standards should be the same all over the country, or whether north or south. It should be not when they are releasing the result now, or when they are actually gaining admission into tertiary institution. You hear that this part of the country is this and that part of the country is this. We shouldn't be doing that. It should be equal in politics and in getting job in companies. When you come, they don't ask you, are you Igbo, are you Hausa, where did you school, whether you entered into tertiary institution with a lower cutoff mark or no. Everything is equal. Everything should be standard. So what I'm saying is that Jamb should stop lowering the Jamb cutoff mark. They should stop that. Even if they want to do it, they should give a comprehensive and analytical reason why they are doing that. What is 150 on a 400? Let's take about one course is 100 mark. They are writing 4 courses, and this is 400. So I don't see the reason why the pass mark should be lowered up to 150. Doesn't make sense to me.
As they're not studying anymore, or education just became harder in recent times.
No, I don't think they are not studying anymore. I think we are experiencing a situation where the best brains and the best teachers have gone abroad. Let me tell you one thing: brain drain affects almost everything. Even governance, brain drain affects everything. Have you heard that up to 35 to 40% of people that graduate from Nigeria are already working abroad? The best are working abroad. So it's not as if the standard of education is lowered or students are not studying more. But that's what we call transfer of knowledge. Okay, those that transfer those knowledge, the best of them have gone abroad. The best of them have left the shores of the country.
Are we not meant to be attacking the issue right now?
Now, speaking about attacking the issue, we're seeing a major headline too on Salient Times 2025 UTME. There's foul play in result of highest scorer. This is Jamb speaking. Now, for some context, we're seeing it here on Daily Post. And the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board says it suspects foul play in the results of one Chinedu Okeke, the best candidate in the 2025 UTME. And the Jamb registrar said this on Tuesday, announcing that Okeke, an indigene of Anambra, emerged the best candidate with 375 score in the examinations. But the Jamb boss, however, stated that the board made some discoveries regarding Chinedu Okeke, who applied for mechanical engineering at the University of Lagos. According to him, data from Jamb revealed that Okeke was admitted to study medicine a year ago in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN. He said Jamb wrote UNN for clarification following this discovery about the candidate. And the school, that's UNN, revealed that Okeke is a student of the institution and is doing fine. Now, the board, as a result of all of this, is suspecting foul play, thinking that he may be a mercenary. Do you think that this is based on Chinedu Okeke's ethnicity, or do you suspect that there is some real foul play, judging by these revelations or discoveries by Jamb?
I don't think there's any foul play. If he wrote he wasn't caught writing for another person.
He wrote with his name.
Probably he wrote to his name. Yeah. And the result came out with his name. Okay, while we were in school, there are some of us who went back and wrote Jamb because they wanted to leave the area, they want to leave Southeast, they want to study other courses. Okay, they wanted to change the environment. They said the best way they can do that is to go out and write another Jamb. And you can give me witness that the moment you write the first Jamb and probably an institution have given you admission, entering into that university institution, studying there for 1 year or even if it's 6 months, it sharpens your mind. It makes you really grasp most of the things that you were struggling with when you were preparing for Jamb. Since he was not caught since he was not caught
Any malpractice.
doing examination malpractice,
Yeah.
so I don't think anything is wrong with that. Though, if you investigate further, you can also
Ascertain
see
the reason why he did what he did.
No. Sometimes, let me explain something to you. Examination malpractice has actually gone advanced. Okay, sometimes a machinery can enter normally. You understand? Write the exam, but the person sitting near
Is the person.
Is the person that is helping. There's no way he can. His result will come out. You will see his result, everything. But his main mission for going there
And the people around
is
him.
the person beside him, just to be passing across some answers or even collecting his own script, helping him feel something, to make sure that he passes very well. Not to be the best, but he will also have time to do his own. Because if he doesn't utilize this result, if he continues to study at University of Nigeria, one will really go ahead to question why he actually entered for the exam. Maybe to get the highest score and let his name come out in the pages of newspaper.
Wasn't it right for Jamb to do proper investigation than
It's
calling
right-
him, calling him out?
If that's what they
outrightly?
should do.
Yeah.
That's just what they should do. Were they CCTV? Was he actually kind of helping others beside him? That's examination malpractice. Okay,
Yeah.
so that depends on what Jamb has against him. If they don't have anything against him, I think they should leave him alone. He's still the highest scorer of this country.
All right. I mean, we do encourage bodies to speak to the press. So
Yeah.
I like that Jamb actually came out and said the Soros would not even have this information. On the second side of it, they might even be doing that because they want people to follow the story.
Yes.
So it doesn't appear that suddenly Jamb has just come out to say something like this. So it's great to carry the media as long as the fourth estate of the Roman. We do encourage
I'm even
public
surprised up
institutions
now,
to do that.
Nothing has been done to change the leadership of Jamb
Well,
for 3 to 4 consecutive
what about the
years
Ministry of
now.
Education?
Excuse me, I don't know. I don't really know. But you can blame me that for quite some couple of years now, there have been bad complaints from Jamb, starting from Mesoma and all the rest of them. And the last thing that happened, they keep on coming out to apologize to the masses. I think the leadership should be reshuffled. Maybe bring in people who really understand the importance of that institution.
All right, let's move on to this story here, away from education, just for a little bit, and look at this one on the Punch. Natasha postpones Senate's return as NASA waits apology.
I said it here.
Right, so
I said it here last week.
we saw some videos circulating online about heightened security outside the National Assembly complex in Abuja. So we reached out to our correspondents there and confirmed that there was nothing like heightened security, that was the status quo for that particular day, and it had nothing to do with her return because the Senate is still waiting for the certified true copy of the court judgment that has
Her apology letter.
and her apology to reinstate her, as to continue her legislative duties there in the upper chamber, so to speak. So can we just get your input on this, that Natasha has postponed her promise to her constituents to resume on Tuesday?
And
her apology as well.
I thought about it last week because there's no need of fueling field between the leadership of the Senate. Okay, a lot of work needs to be done, and she has been away for a while. The court ordered for her reinstatement and also ordered that she should write a letter of apology and pay some money for breaching the Senate rules and regulations. I knew it that had it been she insisted to barge into the House plenary, it wouldn't even have been possible for her. Probably we are like thinking she has a way of entering into where she wants to enter. That if they block the place, that she might go underground this time around. I told her, no, she ain't going nowhere because this thing should be over. I think it should really, really be over. Let her take her place. Okay, a new coalition has been formed. She's a member of the PDP. Let's know where she really stands. There's a whole lot of politicking to be done inside the house.
Do you see the suspended senator actually tendering her public apology, as she has been asked to do so in 2 major dailies and on her social media accounts in line with the court order? Do you see her doing that?
It's a court order. If she doesn't do it, she's violating a court order. So as a respected senator, as someone who has over these years and over the case she had with the Senate president, I believe that her political and senatorial profile has actually arisen. Okay,
right.
It's very, very good for her to obey the law. Okay, obey the law, show example, tender that apology. There was a satirical apology that she tendered the other time.
Yeah, because we're going to come to that
Yeah,
now.
she should just amend that one.
What do you think would be the language of the apology that she would have to tender as a result of this court's judgment?
She should respect. Look, any insult on the court order, any insult on the Senate leadership is an insult to the whole Nigeria. She should take herself totally away from this conflict right now and obey court order, write that apology. The language and the wordings of the apology should be couched to reflect the situation at hand. She shouldn't think that she's writing to her boyfriend or husband or anybody. She should write to the Senate president and apologize expressly.
But
yes.
I want to ask this question, right? Let's come from the human angle right now. Would you say it's fair, for her to be engaged in such, right? And don't that make her feel defeated?
No. Have you read the report? Have you read the court judgment? It's neither here nor there. Court criticized the suspension. Court said that the suspension is illegal. Court has reinstated her. But there's also another part of this whole saga that has to do with the Senate rules. The court said, look, it's a standing order. You cannot speak. You cannot make comments. Neither can you move a motion from a seat that has not been allocated to you by the Senate president. So in every department of civil or legal organization, there must be order, and that order must be obeyed. So if peradventure, by virtue of misunderstanding, someone has violated the order or comported himself or herself in a manner that will show to the Senate government or the Senate leader that you have disrespected their rules, you have to go back and get it right, because it would definitely serve as a
the direct question that I want us to respond to, and that's the question Oji is also asking as well. Would you say that Senator Natasha has won beyond feeling defeated, based on having to apologize, which I don't think is the case? Do you think that she has won? Can Nigerians say that Senator Natasha's resilience in the face of what has been described in many quarters as oppression could signify that she has won this case?
There are two cases here. One has to do with the violation of Senate rules, and one has to do with the allegation of sexual threat by the Senate president. So when you are trying to bring this whole thing within only a two-compartmentality of right or wrong or won or have lost, you understand, you will not appreciate the entire situation. What I'm trying to say in effect is that she has won by holding her head up, by waiting for court verdict to come out and also by respecting the suspension and wait for the court verdict to come out. She has won. She did not sit back and swallow everything hook, line and sinker. She went to court and challenged everything, and the court have reinstated her. You should know by now that she's a force to reckon with. You cannot take that away from her. But whether she completely won every aspect of it is an entirely different thing, because the court is now saying that in your bid to defend your own rights, you violated some rules, and those rules must be obeyed. So I think if you want to take it that way, she has won, and Akpabio has also won, because a letter of apology will be tendered at the end of the day. The balance is what I want. Okay, she's not just coming with that bravado that I am now the winner. Okay, she's coming with, yes, I got this one right and I got this one wrong. So let's maintain a balance here and focus on making laws and implementing laws for Nigeria. I think that's the most important thing.
Well, the reason why I was coming from a human factor was apparently I don't know what's going through her mind or inside of herself right now. Appealing or putting out the apology, regarding to what the court judgment says.
The apology is not as per the sexual harassment.
It's because of
violating the Senate standing rules. It has to do with where you are sitting.
I suspect that in that apology, because we're talking about the language of the apology, I suspect that the senator is going to be very specific in that letter about what she is actually apologizing about.
I totally agree with you. It's not, you don't have to start beating about the bush. It's a direct and express apology. Hit it, submit it, and go.
Maybe that's the reason why it's hard. Or let me not say it's hard, like we've not seen it already, right?
I can't see why she should find it hard, okay? Let me tell you one thing. If you're a politician and you're not flexible, you're not going to go far. You need to be flexible. You need to learn how to obey the law, and more importantly, you have to learn how to swallow your pride. You understand? Yeah, I don't think she should find it difficult to do that.
We've not received any formal communication as to why she has not tendered that public apology yet. We do not know if she's finding it hard. We do not know if she's feeling proud to do it. So we don't know.
She's looking for her pen.
Maybe she's looking for her pen. I think that's another explanation.
That's right.
Okay, now let's wrap this up with this major headline on Daily Trust, and I can see they made sure that they will not put a picture of the billboards that is causing a lot of questions or concerns in that quarter in Abuja. Now, Daily Trust says questions over Tinubu's 2027 campaign posters. A really interesting billboard surfaced somewhere in Wuye in Abuja, showing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wife. He was almost holding her in a position of what some may describe as a tango. And, trying to, whomever put up that billboard was trying to promote his 2027 presidential bid, so to speak, right? So now people are asking, why would billboards be going up when INEC has not lifted the ban on campaign billboards yet, or has not even opened up such campaign processes yet? People are saying, could it be the opposition that is setting up the billboards to, taunt him because the photograph was not, it did not speak, it was nice, but it seemed like it was not communicating the same thing as the political agenda. I don't know, it just seemed like more of a couple taking a photo. That's on one side. But secondly, the billboard is up. Nobody knows who put it up. Nobody knows whether it's APC, whether it's the presidency, or whether it's opposition. Nobody is sure who did what at this point. What is your own question concerning this mystery billboard?
Who installed the billboard is not a big problem. If you go through the
Archon,
you can find out who paid for that, because sometimes these are done by sycophants.
But you come back to the regulatory body. Are they not supposed to be regulating such billboards? You can't just put up a billboard without
who regulates election billboard? It's INEC. There's no other body that goes around ensuring that billboards for election are put up at the right time, because INEC normally announces that campaign is up, campaign is over. So if you do that, it can even cost you your election, your political bid. Okay. So what I'm saying here is that they can find out who installed that, whether they want to trace it back to Mr. President or not. They can find out who installed that. But what I'm saying again is that political sycophants are all over this country. They can do that. I would have loved to see the billboard, because everybody wants to see the billboard that Mr. President is coming up with, because of who will eventually be the vice president. Is it going to be the current Shetima? Is he going to retain Shetima? Or is he going to bring in Kwankwaso, as the rumor is going? Even Kwankwaso now, I say, is sitting between the devil and the deep blue sea.
That's right.
Because the tempo that ADC and the coalition is gathering is really making him to be looking like this. Should I join Tinubu or should I join Atiku? Because at the end of the day, he contested against Tinubu in 2023, and he made 1.something million votes. Even though Obi relentlessly, or rather a Labour Party relentlessly wanted him to come and be Obi's running mate. Let's see whether he will be Tinubu's running mate. But as I stand and I'm talking to you now, Kwankwaso is a little bit confused. He doesn't know where to go. Maybe he should wait to see what is really going on, because ADC is really taking over almost all the structures of LP, some parts in APC and also PDP in all the northern states, and I think it's going to be very, very big.
This is okay. Are we done? There's a statement David Mark made, right? It was on news. The ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant, right? Won't this spark a furore in the public sphere?
A what?
A furore.
It should not. I don't think so. Let me tell you this.
Because at this point in time, right? Yes, they want to make it an open playing field for Amechi, articulates for Atiku, obedience for Obi, bring all the delegates and pick who you want to, right? But we know the kind of primaries we offer ourselves here in Nigeria, which is induced with dollars. The one they just accused Wike the other day, the debacle between him and this man that said it's $30,000 each delegate. That out of 777 delegates that came to during the PDP. So now having this open field at this point, because everybody is expecting the public sphere that just declare this person. We know that it's Obi that we want to.
It can be done.
So, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
people's mindset at this point in time. But leaving it open, wouldn't that, still induce those corruption?
I disagree with you. It should be open. If they want to run a political party that will give APC a run for their popularity, that primary should be open. Let me tell you what you do. Now, on the day of primary, you can say, I'm stepping down for you. That primary is a political activity. It is where grassroots are strengthened. I am saying that don't stop Tinubu, don't stop Atiku from campaigning. The more Atiku is vibrant, the more Atiku will raise and resuscitate some dead political institutions in the north. And when he gets that, if they agree that it's right for South to complete, let me tell you, be aware of El-Rufai.
Yeah.
El-Rufai is still there. El-Rufai single-handedly fought that power should remain to the South for 8 years after Buhari.
Yeah.
And they say no, he called all the northern governors. El-Rufai summoned all the 16 northern governors and say power is going to the South. He fought for that and he got it. And he said it should be there for 8 years. And El-Rufai is part of this coalition. I think he should also maintain that rhetoric or that narrative that let the South finish their 8 years. So that is a way to tell you that ADC knows exactly what they're doing.
Are they trying to be ahead of APC? Because apparently they want, it might be a strategy.
Let me tell you
to
what.
bring the noise.
Thank you. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
It's a very big strategy. If you left to me, let Atiku be campaigning, let Amechi be campaigning, and let Obi and even others be campaigning. It will dislodge APC. They won't know who to throw their arsenal on, okay? They won't, because if you bring that one solitary candidate, they will target him, send a missile and destroy him completely. Because they will know this is the man where all of us kill this man now, bring everything, jeopardize him, dig out things, past life.
Yeah.
But when they are 6 or 7, you won't know what to do because you won't know. It's a political strategy. Please, Atiku should be campaigning, Obi should be campaigning, other people should be campaigning. The more you confuse APC, the better for us.
All right.
Towards the end, we cannot pick up the person who will be the flag bearer.
The time is up now. Thank you so much,
Thank you very much for this
Thank
insightful
you.
All right.
conversation.
All right, the morning show returns in just seconds as we take regional stories. We'll be beginning with the end of the Things Fall Apart Festival 2025, which wrapped up on Sunday. This report is a little late, but I mean, sometimes you have to save the best for last. We'll take that report from Marvelous Apamaga, find out what Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie said as she headlined that finale of the Things Fall Apart Festival. Morning show returns in seconds. Stay tuned.